Back with another edition.
Welcome back to Hip Hop History, the Northwest Stories. I am K Duke.
This is Yana. You feel me?
Yanana mean.
Yanana man.
And we here with another fucking Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it again.
And we're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk about major shit. This time we got somebody who's been around for a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he ain't wrong.
Yo, he's Pacific Northwest, but he's a little bit further down the road. You know what I'm saying?
But
Southern.
you know, it wouldn't be right if we didn't include our brothers and sisters from PDX, from Portland,
from P-Town.
And we go there often.
It's right down the street.
It's
really.
2 hours.
It is
2 hours.
I mean, if you smash, you get there like an hour 45.
I mean, honestly, for cats like us, if we want to drive for 2 hours, it's a good little excursion.
Yeah, and actually, if you think about it, if you're going into Seattle in traffic time, you're going to spend at least 3 hours.
And you get no tax.
No tax. And they got all the food trucks.
They got the food truck. Man, Portland's dope.
Portland is pretty fun.
Portland's dope. I like the vibe of Portland. Keep Portland weird, all that movement. They haven't, probably Portland people will be like, you don't know shit. But it seems to me as if it's not as, like, corporatized as Seattle. There's still,
we don't know. We're not from there.
From there, but it seems to be that there's still a little bit of grime left. Because Seattle's pretty polished at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
You're talking about the gentrification of the nation.
That too, and just, yeah, basically. But, me and Sabrina, my wife, just went down there like 2 weekends ago, spent the weekend there, and we were talking to some Portland natives, and they're like, oh no, yeah, it's changed hell.
Yeah.
So I'm not from there, so I don't really know, but I still like it. Good food, good music, good artists. Some people have come from there. But this particular person we're going to talk about is
motherfucking cool.
Motherfucking Nutz. Cool Nutz. Which is, I remember being hella young up here and just seeing that name and being like, what kind of name is that?
It's a different name, man.
I mean, but he stuck to it.
Yeah.
I mean, so obviously it's a name that means something to him if he wants to rep it that long. We'd have to hit him up. Cool Nutz, what's up, man? We love
Holla.
you. You know what I'm saying? Let's do an interview and let's figure out why your name's Cool Nutz and what it means.
Exactly.
But I remember seeing him, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is back when I was like
a hater.
A hater.
Yeah.
A fucking hater. Nah, when I was back in my real, I still am, but I'm back in my real East Coast only vibe. And I remember seeing him at shows up in Seattle or wherever we would go. He'd be up there quite often. And I didn't really like him. I don't think he was ever whack particularly, but it just wasn't what I was fucking with at that time.
Right.
Fast forward a couple years ago, I see the guy at some show that was like maybe I'm tripping, but I think it was Cool Out Network.
Okay.
Cool Out Network did like a 25-year anniversary or some crazy shit. Shout out to my guy at Cool Out Network. I can't even think of his name right now. I'm gonna get burned down for that one.
Who's Cool Out Network?
Yo, Cool Out Network was Cool Out Network was on public access. So you had Music Inner City with Gordon Curvey.
I don't remember.
Oh, yo, this was like the local MTV type shit, like these guys did.
Oh yeah.
They'd be running around every show, every scene, every b-boy battle, every DJ thing where you always seen these guys, whether it was Gordon Curvey, Music Inner City, and then, I can't remember his name, man. But anyway, the dude from Cool Out Network, always there, and he's probably got the craziest archive of footage of all things Northwest hip hop. We really need to do an interview with him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Only what I remember in my time was Hip Hop 101.
Hip Hop 101. Shout out to Ken Chasm and the Mad Crew and Dev, Dirty Dev. Yeah, all those guys. But they were a little bit younger. So like these guys were doing it before, and then Hip Hop 101 came out. But anyway, I think it was that 25-year anniversary or 30-year anniversary or whatever it was, and he invited all these old school cats to perform.
Yeah.
And Cool Nutz performed, and I was like,
and he tore it down.
I was like, am I tripping? Or was this dude always this dope and I was just a piece of shit?
Like, he's a hater.
That's it. I was a fucking hater. No, I think I was, but I don't remember his beats being that dope. I definitely didn't remember him spitting that dope. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, this motherfucker really grew up really well. Even though he was always older than me, I mean, like musically he aged really well because he sounds like top of his game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Either
cats.
that or he was always on top.
He was always on top,
there.
and I was just a fucking hater.
Yeah.
So anyway, shout out to Cool Nutz, man. He's got a project that he put out, and we feel obligated.
Yeah.
And again, he has his shit on sale. You can buy it. So you can buy this on BANDCAMP. The album is called Pig Ears and Chitlins.
Pig Ears and Chitlins. I think it's like just. What do you think of the name?
So that you could. I don't know if you could see that. I might
They
just.
can probably see it.
But he's got the actual like old school bucket of pig ears and chitlins as the album cover.
Bucket of Chitlins.
I would assume with that title he's going along the lines of some soul, some funk, some down home, you know, classic shit, like soul food cooking, you know, like just that comfort food.
Just think back to the basics.
Yeah.
You know, like where it starts.
Where it all starts. Mom's cooking back at home. You know what I mean? Like you can fucking go and get 5-star dining, do all that shit. But when you go home and mom's done threw down that shit that you love,
shit that you love,
it doesn't matter what chef had what training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this was released in September, so we're a little bit behind.
But only a few months.
Only a few months.
2018.
Yeah, 2018. But it is the latest. So we're just gonna start going through it. It's got 9 joints.
9.
We've got an intro, and then the next song, the Chitlins intro, and then it's gonna be Rich featuring Mikey Vegas. So let's see what it's talking about. It's streaming, yo. So
Streaming? Did you buy it?
yo, I bought it.
Oh, it should be downloaded.
Pig ears, chitlins,
There we go.
collard greens, an honorable black intolerance for shackles and fascist government. We stretching and stacking our dollars, but we still are not free because of it. We live in a system that doesn't respect our life. They use violence to keep us in check. I'm trying to get rid of the noose on our necks. The truth that I speak is about life and death. In order to thwart a black majority, they got to subordinate to court-ordered authority. Long as we live here. Since field hollering, cotton picking and the iron collaring, pig ears, salt pork, collard greens, sharecropping, polishing shoes, cleaning houses, singing the blues. On Halloween, I'm looking at the ghost with the genetic memory of the enemy with a noose. Expending my energy, following the North Star till I'm loose. Off the chain like Denmark Vesey, about to embark on a messy crusade. Skin tones a few shades lighter. I know not to mess with the Jim Jones Kool-Aid. Darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Incompetent Aryan scared of our youth. Old food from the old school. Grew up on soul food in my home, dude. Hot water, cornbread, red beans, and rice. Psychological warfare all of my life. No salary to low salary thriving. Couldn't survive on a low-calorie diet. My identity beyond what I consume. Look deeper than the surface. You see, I may act a fool, but my spirituality keeps me in tune. And your ideas of reality have you confused. Let's be clear. You fear my aggression? Because you attack my complexion. But what you call riot is insurrection. What you call violence, self-defense, and protection. Since prior to the society's inception, I haven't existed an instant, a second, without being against persistent and consistent oppression. My health is a blessing, our music is a message, our culture is a weapon, let's use it, be effective.
Yeah. Oh damn. Okay.
That was a good way to bring
Yeah,
it
man.
in. I like that, yo.
Hey, you know, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't remember him being that way, and that maybe came with age, obviously.
Yeah.
And maybe he was always that way. I don't fucking know. But I mean, I'm just saying, like most motherfuckers, you know, I mean, if I'm talking about going to shows in like mid-90s, that was a long ass time.
Well, you got to think of this too, man. Like when you're talking about, you're probably what, 16, 17, 18 maybe? What, 20,
yeah.
15,
No, yeah.
14?
Well,
Okay, so you got to think of this, man. Even if he was that dope back then,
I wasn't.
you didn't like any of that shit. You weren't fucking with it because just the pure fact it was West Coast, it was from up here.
Right,
You already was going into it thinking it's going to be whack, so
Right.
you can't hear nothing when you
True.
already think it's whack.
Yeah,
you know what
I
mean?
was already closed off to it.
But it could have possibly been, I mean, probably not the same exact message, but it possibly could have been. And you know, I don't know all of his catalog either,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I can't really go back and go, no, you should look this
Right.
first album here and this and that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe we just go back and listen
We're gonna
to
have to
you.
go. Well, that's the beauty of a lot of these old dudes that have a big catalog of music because whenever you do find them, you can go, shit, let me go see what the other show is talking about. But I like that intro, man. I mean, obviously he's talking about some real shit, and obviously there's an even deeper meaning to the figures and chitlins.
Yeah, I think he answered our question right in that first why it's called that. So that was dope, man.
All right, that sets a good tone. So let's see, Rich featuring Mikey Vegas. Produced by C Goods.
Thorough nigga with a thorough heart. Gotta live, so I might play the martyr part. Aspire for the clouds and a better view. Mind frame always thinking how the winners do. Glass clean when I'm looking at the trophy case. Share plate, but a nigga mostly feeling hate. Silicone, counterfeit, niggas mostly fake. He feminine, kinda soft with a girly shake. Pray to God with my sights on the pearly gates. Them niggas yanking with they sights on the early wake. I'm from that northeast, blood in the sewer grate. Born and raised African in a cracker state. My niggas, living through the black of fate. We master rap, master who? We the master race. And use a fuck nigga ball, nigga ass kisser. And I'm a big lip nappy here with black issues. I'm really on some nigga shit. Bruh, I'm trying to get nigga rich. Strike through stunting on some nigga shit. Eating pig ears, chitlins on some nigga shit. I'm really on some nigga shit. Bruh, I'm trying to get nigga rich.
Yeah, dog.
Look. Okay, let's just talk basics. I like it.
It's dope, man.
I wanted it to come in with some hard drums. You know, that's what I was hoping would happen. But I'm simple. Maybe they didn't want to go that route. However, it worked because he was saying so much that you really want to hone in on his lyrics.
Yeah.
Because I think if the drums just would have came in banging, we would have been so into the beat
it would
that
have took away from what he was saying. But
so good.
that's probably why he picked that joint for this joint. You know what I'm saying?
And when the drums did kick in, it wasn't what I expected. But dope, and that's always dope too when they throw you off a little bit.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, he's saying, you know, he's got something to say.
It's dope, man. I like the whole get down of it. I don't really wish anything on it, to be honest. I think it's and probably just gonna build up the whole. You know, it came from soft to really soft in the beginning. Then this time there's a little bit more to it, and then it'll probably build up to the smashers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's see if he's right.
Strike through stunting on some nigga shit. Eating pig ears, chillin' on some nigga shit. 4G's like the days now. Saber sucker, saber rat, you niggas playing now. Simply stand up, fuck all the politics. Intelligent, elegant, but still on some nigga shit. It's all literal, bars craft eloquent. Trying to be a better father and a better friend. We've been scholarly, fatherly, grown men. You ain't made it till your talent been flown in. I'm off the goose in the booth and I'm zoning.
You ain't made it till your talent been flown in.
That's something right there. That's
Because
saying something.
Because I know for a fact he does. I think maybe I'm tripping. I mix him up with Funk Daddy, but I think he does DJ too. Like he just DJs. And I know that he tours a lot and travels a lot. So I think that was just a little line.
He was just in Sydney the other day.
That's what he said, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you know, Cool Nuts, man. I'm catching just a real veteran type vibe.
Yeah, you can definitely hear that it's not nobody that's brand new in the game.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, he has the type of very controlled flow that takes a lifetime to master. You know, there's no mistakes, there's no timing errors, there's no misdelivery, there's no he should have said it this way. That a lot of times you can critique people.
Yeah.
His timing's not off at all.
Sure.
And I'm hearing like if I could compare him to anybody, I'm hearing like a Rasco, Planet Asia, San Quinn type of.
But definitely not even the same at all. Like
No,
you could kind of put it there.
Yeah.
But I mean, as much as it sounds like a lot of those cats that kind of have that kind of flow, it's not the same either. You know?
No, not at all. I'm just saying if I had to compare it to something, I'd put him in the genre, or not the genre, but the vein of those guys.
Right.
Yeah, because Planet Asia is a whole different thing. I don't know what the fuck you be talking.
Hey, yo, Planet A.
Yo, and I love Planet Asia.
He's dope, man.
He's dope as fuck, but sometimes you're like, okay, what'd you say? All right, should we give that one a little bit more, or you want to go to the next? I mean, he's got 9, so let's just go to the next. But that one was fresh. He's
fresh.
Getting more. I think, yeah, this is an album that you probably could. Hold on, man. Pause this.
Pause, man. Hold on.
Pause. Greta,
Relax, man.
shut the fuck up.
Fucking working over
Fucking
here.
playing with you.
Fuck around and be number 3.
That's what I thought.
What was that?
Yo, my dog thinks. Yo, my dog think this shit's a game.
Dog think it's a game.
Nah,
Fucking number 3 at the teriyaki joint. Go fuck that dog up.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn off the camera. You gonna kill the dog, yo? Greta, you gonna kill the fucking dog?
Blue.
Get the fucking dog.
Blue.
Get the fucking dog.
Come get Greta. I'm trying to record over here.
Fucking record over here.
Go get Greta, yo.
Fucking dog.
Greta.
You gonna press record on him again? I've been going the whole time.
Oh shit! Did you guys hear that shit? Fuck.
Yeah, I was.
I'm not a dog abuser.
I was hyping it, yo. I was like, you fucking up that dog, yo, right now, yo.
Nah, this is probably a project that best listened to 100% start to finish, all the way through.
Got it.
Because I think you're right. It's gonna be a build up, and each song is gonna lead to the next one.
Which is, I think, what you do when you get to the point where you probably have 10 plus albums. You know, you start
concept
making,
albums.
stories like movies.
Yeah,
almost.
you got to.
You know what I'm saying?
And I like that. I love that. But unfortunately, we ain't gonna sit up here and play the whole shit start to finish. So you guys are gonna have to do that on your own.
Yeah.
So the next one is called Nep. It's an interlude featuring seasoning. Let's see what that one is.
Let's see what it's talking about.
Yeah, man, Northeast Portland remind me of Chitlins and pig feet. I know y'all asking, what the hell Chitlins and pig feet got to do with Northeast Portland? But what Northeast Portland was with me growing up, man, was us making the best of what we got. Ain't nobody ever just went and said, let me get the pig feet and the chitlins. That's the guts and all the nasty and mess or whatever it is. But what we did with that, we made it something. We fed ourselves, man. We fed our community, man. Now you get to go through there and maybe see bites, dogs, frogs, and goats. But hey, man, Northeast to me will always be soul food, man. Without soul, man, you just got food.
Well, fuck. There you have it.
There's the
I mean,
answer.
the more we get into it, the more he keeps explaining what this shit's about.
Yeah.
I mean, and if it's not, black life in America, in whatever neighborhood you're from, I mean, it's also just speaks to what hip hop is in general.
Yeah.
People that ain't got shit, and what can you make out of it?
Yeah, well, that's what, the original hip hop.
Original hip hop. I mean, yeah, nobody wanted the pig feet. No, nobody wanted the chitlins, but how can we make that shit hella good?
Yeah.
And now, fast forward hundreds of years later, now motherfucker will go to a restaurant and pay for that shit.
Yeah, right.
And possibly charge $20 a plate,
Or even more.
I mean, we just went to a Cuban restaurant in Portland. And fuck, man, I mean, for the better part of the dish, it's rice and beans.
Yeah.
Cracking though.
Yeah.
But, that's cheap shit. And we paid $20-something a plate for that shit, so. Anyway, let's get to the next one. This one is also called Nep, so I'm assuming that's Northeast Portland. This is featuring April Kaysen or Cassin, not sure.
Remember those days we be riding in the old school to the side, up and down MLK. We could do this here all day. What's up to my mans on the corner? A pocket full of dreams and I'm gonna pay homage to my hood. EDP, baby, we still good.
What I'm about, you know what I'm about. The strip, the grind and real talk in my mouth. Northeast, I got a lot of love
on the beat on this one, we got Trox.
Trox.
Yeah, TROX. Shout out to Trox.
Is that?
Not to be confused with Truss, but actually, a little backstory. Big Tune Battle, I want to say, back when they were doing that, Trox was in at least one that I saw and took out Truss.
Oh yeah. Is he
Yeah.
in Northwest,
I think
or is he
he's
somewhere
I
else?
think he's from Portland.
Oh, okay.
And Trox is a beast.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah,
hear the
you
bass
can
line
hear
on
it.
it.
Yeah. So he's got beats. I think he's got some bigger names under his belt, but he had done some joints for Sonny Bono.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So some of Sonny Bono's like doper shit that you were like, oh, he's on this shit because he had Trox beats. So,
Okay.
but yeah, man, this one is already. I mean, he's talking about the town. It's kind of funny though because he's old school, and going back to the Specs review,
Yeah.
where he's talking about downtown Seattle
Right.
back in the days and that type of like 70s vibe of what it used to be like and look like. Kind of the same thing here.
Right.
Different style of music, but same message.
Yeah.
You know, and both of those guys are, you know, like Specs is a half a cinch. I don't know how old this guy is, but man, these guys are fucking, goddamn, to be, you know, pushing 50 and be this good.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I mean, because I mean, who else is that old in the game? You know what I mean? Like Chuck D.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Chuck D, but I don't think his shit is not sounding this nice right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, LL Cool J even. I've heard some newer songs of his, and his shit is not sounding this nice right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
You see what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah, true enough, but
No disrespect to any of those guys. Those guys are legends on the world stage.
yeah.
But shit, man. This I don't need to say too much. I don't need to sell
I think
it.
I think it just probably resonates a little bit more because it's from more where you can understand. Like when LL makes a cut today, he's talking from millionaire LL point of view.
True.
And these guys.
No, but I'm just saying the flow though.
I mean, but it's
In
all
general.
about where you're at. It's everything too. Like if you're sitting in your mansion and you're trying to write some shit about how things used to be or how great it was back then, it wasn't that fucking great when you're sitting in a mansion type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just I feel like it's a little bit of different depending on
It's
where you're
different.
at. Like,
It's different.
it's
But
when
I'm
you're
just,
when you still live in the neighborhood where you grew up in and shit, and you can see the changes. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You're gonna definitely be wanting some. I miss 15th. I miss
right.
da-da-da-da-da.
But I'm just saying, like, even take away the subject matter, just the presentation.
No, it's dope. Yeah,
You know.
it's dope. But he's probably been making a lot more music than those guys. I mean, I don't know. LL's pretty deep in the game, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he's been heavily like active in the music,
Right.
like on mixtapes and all kind of
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean?
True. Well, whatever the reason, let that be
It's
the reason.
filthy. I'm saying my city
Fucking
says
with
filthy.
me.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, so that was that. I'll let it ride a little bit more. See if I
Let
can
it ride
pull
out.
anything else.
Get cold on these city blocks. And we was birthed to watch the best do it. Pimpin' real hustling and niggas make the best music. Cross country with a cold grit. Northeast niggas talk the most shit. A Northeast nigga had the baddest bitch. Some Northeast niggas got street rich.
We pouring liquor out now for the memory. Shouts out to Winnie. Put your light up in the air if you're feeling me. Shout out to Winnie. We pouring liquor out now for the memory. Shout out to Winnie. Put your light up in the air if you're feeling me. Shout out to.
Yo,
Shout out to where you're from.
shout out to NEP. I don't know. I really don't know that much about Portland. So shout out to Northeast Portland. I guess that's
Yeah.
where it all started, where it all goes down.
For him, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, for that scene. Let's get to Troutdale. Track number 5, Troutdale.
Fly shit, bring the suckers out.
Also produced by Trox.
Fly shit,
You got
bring
a
the
good
suckers
sound
out.
for it.
My niggas smiling, showing what this winning bout. I say goodbye in the springtime. You wanna trout there, watch a real nigga shine. Trophy with my name on it. Getting money, bring a whole set of new problems. That nigga shoulder got a chip on it. The fast life of real nigga got a grip on it. Pole position and a pedal push. Designer drugs, niggas token on that better kush. Lame niggas and some heartache. You better push with your sights
Sour grapes.
Yeah.
How you feel?
It's dope.
How you love it?
Yo, it's simple, you know.
Uh-huh.
The beat is tight but simple. The flow is just kind of one of those flows is good.
In the pocket.
You know, it's right on time.
It's one of these, you know, that
Yeah.
nice big old
That yeah.
clap, snap,
That nasty
snap,
rusty
crackle,
snare.
pop. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Simple bass, not anything too crazy, but again, just seasoned to me. You know, it's like effortless.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to try anymore.
Yeah.
Like he could do this shit all fucking day long.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I got another one. Oh, is that the beat? Alright, I got some.
I had already wrote some shit that'd go perfect to that. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, I would compare this to me like I kind of use this comparison when we were talking to Seven about AWOL. Shout out to AWOL, but Master Ace.
Yeah.
Master Ace has that consistent, controlled flow. You're not gonna get nothing crazy. You're not gonna get any ill patterns. You're not gonna get any fucking none of that shit.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be consistent and dope every single time.
Right.
You know, and that's what this is.
That's where we're at.
That's where we are with this.
We congregate silverback and a couple apes. We gentlemen, you niggas rats and a couple fakes. I see Dubai in the springtime. You on that trout there, watching real niggas shine. Mac and cheese and a snotty nose. Motel 6 lane trapping and some shoddy hoes. Turncoats, my coalition, they gon' body those. Chasing bands in the winter for the summer clothes. Fly shit, bring the suckers out. My niggas smiling, showing what this winning about. I see Dubai in the springtime. You on that trout there, watching real niggas shine.
I don't know what Troutdale is.
Sounds to me like a street or a neighborhood.
That's what I was thinking.
But yeah,
So you're-
I think just it's for him. Like it's like you said. It's just it's probably in his blood. Like at this point, he's been doing it for so long that like he just does it.
Yeah.
Like, it's
This is definitely like I mean, I don't know. We'd have to go back and listen to any of his more within the last couple of years project, but it seems to me that if I didn't know him, that this is his time as a grown man, as a veteran in the game, to really capture where he came from,
yeah.
to talk about it, to speak about it, to get all those memories, all those memoirs onto songs, onto tracks. What did it smell like? What did it look like? What did it feel like coming from these places? You know, and he's painting the picture.
Yeah.
It's literally making me want to go to Northeast Portland next time I go down there. I mean, really,
Right.
see what it's talking about. Because I've only ever been to downtown. I've never been to the neighborhoods,
Right.
you know? So I don't really know shit about none of that shit.
Right.
Hopefully there's some remnants of what he's talking about. We can catch some good eats. All right, let's do the next one. That was Troutdale, produced by Trox. This next one is called Black Interlude, featuring T-Ra, a.k.a. Taraya Autry. If I'm saying that wrong, my bad. Produced by Tony Ozier, or Ozier, for Beats Galore. Let's do it. Black Interlude.
I didn't grow up privileged, eating whatever I pleased. Part of that Reaganomics generation raised on government cheese. Learning early the importance of the first of the month and how after the 21st shit always got rough. Empty cabinets and refrigerator when I came home from school, even though my mom worked 2 jobs as a general rule. Maybe I was ruined by the staple block of cheddar. Lactose intolerant, but I didn't know better. So I understand how people learn to make do, celebrating every blessing knowing nothing's promised to you. Like how Grandpa ate the pig from the feet to the ears, chitlins and the pork skins till the end of his years, grew fiery jalapenos in his garden out back, put hot sauce on everything and talked hella smack. I couldn't take the heat when I was a child, but now I eat hot peppers and Cholula can't stand my food mild. I may have left swine behind, but not my history, or my love and appreciation for my people and family. See, I respect all the struggle and innovation we come from. We got that gift of taking nothing and transforming it to something.
Yeah.
Yo. The question has been answered over and over again. What's this shit about? And the reoccurring theme is that make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we were given, and we've made the dopest shit out of it. And I like the line where she said, "Even though I don't fuck with the swine no more, I never lost my history." You know what I mean? Like I don't have to keep doing this shit in order to still say this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know, we all know that eating the pig from the what to say, from the rooted to the tuna, you know what I mean?
Alright.
It is not good for you, or fried foods and all that shit, but we still gonna fuck with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to. And you know what? It's interesting because there's a lot of cultures that do that, you know? I mean, fuck, man, I miss carnitas probably more than anything else because I don't eat pork, you know that.
Yeah.
But I don't get to eat carnitas, but I know your ass if there's a plate.
I'll fuck around with a card. Actually, I've been pretty good at it, but
Yeah. But you gonna fuck with it.
I fuck with it. Sometimes
you
you
gon-
can't say no to when it's
'Cause
extra
with the-
crispy. You
It's
feel
a
me?
tortilla.
With
No.
the lime and shit.
But I like how she talked about the hot sauce too, because that's kind of like part of a lot of cultures is putting that spice. Grandpa grew the fiery jalapenos out in the back, put the hot sauce on everything, and talks hella smack.
Yeah.
You know, so that was fresh. All right, so the next one is called That Was a Black Interlude. This is Black featuring Mike Crenshaw and Mike Capes. I don't know, maybe it's MIC, you know, Mike Crenshaw, Mike Capes, and April Case, and produced by Deezo Woods for Move Makers Music. Let's go.
Black music, like black oil, they just wanna use it. But we can't stop doing what we do. We are at the beginning, it's proven.
My niggas lust for the ignorant. We make strides, progress in these increments. And these dreams got no ceilings to it. White folks put the brakes on a nigga movement. Slave field to the present times. 400 years and we still searching better times. We like dogs, the value on a black life. And walk lightly, tiptoeing through the landmines. I question rights, so we really part of mankind. Nelson Mandela, nigga fighting through apartheid. And this life got a price on it. A nigga strangled like my neck got a vice on it. And this freedom ain't free though. Every nigga killed us like they took a piece of me though. And my heart got a dagger through it. I paint the picture as I make more nigga music.
We gon' keep on making black music, like black oil, they just wanna use it. But we can't stop doing what we do. And we are at the beginning, it's proven. Now we shouldn't have to fight.
We are in the beginning, it's proven. You know? So very fucking reflective of life in America, very reflective of the history of life in America, what it means to be black in America, and just done in a dope ass way. You know, almost like when we were just reviewing that last shit, even if you weren't into wanting to get into the message of it, you probably could just bump it because it sounds good.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good. It's well put together, man. Like the more you listen to it, it just sounds like it's a project. You know, it was thought out.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I got 10 songs. I need
Right.
to
I'm just gonna put them together. He definitely was like, I want to do an album called Piggers and Chitlins, and it's gonna be about this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a song about this. I'm gonna have a song about that. So that was dope, man. Roll to the next.
Next in.
This one is called Safe. This is track number 8. Also produced by Trox, featuring one of Portland's more well-known names through the battling scene.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Illmaculate.
Yo, Mac.
Yo,
He battled my man H-Bomb, didn't he?
Did he?
I think they did battle.
Probably. Illmaculate, man, was like one of the top dudes in that original, when the battling scene, the internet battling scene really first started, him and Thesaurus.
Yeah, they were the team, right?
They were always a team, and those guys were on top for a long time. I think they're
That was
pretty much on.
before Grind Time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were definitely there for Grind Time.
They were there for Grind Time. I think they were just on some, I don't know if they were, see, Grind Time was like one of the first like leagues type of thing. So I think they were around before any of that.
Right.
Before King of the Dot, I mean, those guys probably battled the one dude who started King of the Dot. That tall fucking, or Organic is his name. But yeah, you guys do some homework. Go look up Illmaculate battles. These motherfuckers were hella funny. They were battling before it was written. You could tell they're freestyling.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything's written.
Everything.
But this is it. Safe, featuring Illmaculate. stamp. He's talking a little shithead.
He's talking some head.
He's talking head. Shithead.
He's talking that head, boy.
Yeah, and I like that. You know, you
got
gotta
to.
have at least one on any project where you're gonna talk a little shithead.
Like, come on, son.
I'm traveling the globe.
Been out here
I'm
getting my
stamped
stamp
up.
game up. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real. I'm doing everything you're supposed to do in hip hop, and you're not. You ain't, you ain't been nowhere. You ain't nice. You ain't keeping it real. You're faking fucking fraudulent.
You still ain't got a passport.
You know?
Ain't seen
Yo,
your
I got a passport. No stamps.
no stamps though.
No stamps.
Hey, but you know, shout out to all the felons who can't get one though. You feel me?
You feel me?
Sometimes you know, bees
Okay,
like,
actually, I do got a stamp. We went to Canada.
you went to BC. You got
I went
some
to
BC
BC.
bud back in the early
You know, back in
90s.
the early 90s,
You know.
back when they had the cannabis cafe.
Back when they had them.
Nah, but I like that, man, because this one brings it. It's breaking out of that. A little break from what it's been on so far.
It's kind of getting a little more cracking, or how you might say.
Let's see what immaculate.
Passport full of stamps. Yeah, this my city where you at. Tell 'em, ain't no safe house when you wild in the field. Where I'm from, I'm a man. Yeah, passport full of stamps. This my city where you at. Tell 'em, no love for the other side. Fuck how you feel. Every day, all day, my regiment's up. Genetically cut different, it's embedded in us. The impulse to get more like it's never enough. Pray to predators, keep business separate from lunch. 3 eyes on the moves while they setting them up. Henry Hill helicopters above head. Weapons and drugs, fuck the feds. Feel them setting me up. Maybe that's the medical. I was skeptical once, now I'd rather make a decision. Clip them like I'm matching them up. Shit happens, fuck it, shit happens. Just so happens I'm this shit. Quit bragging. Only plan B's kidnapping a rich grandson. They sound tough when they spit. They can still get ground up in the grits. An ounce up to a brick, a pound up to a hit. All that to say I won't be outdone on this shit. Pump this album, count thousands up in the whip. Kush clouds around this, the town loving this shit. Trapped in a safe house in a booth like a hermit. A calm storm brewing, but I'm cool on the surface. Listen, where I'm from, I'm the man.
Yeah,
He was talking that ish.
he was talking that shit. Perfect dude to put on the track from Portland.
Yeah.
I would assume. You know, not who I thought would be on this particular
I
album,
didn't think so.
considering what he's talking about mostly, but did a good ass job. You can hear the pattern. You can hear that battle rapper in him still.
Yeah.
He's got the ill pattern.
Yeah.
You know.
He's got some good stuff going.
Again, nothing that just crazy stand out, but fresh. You know, sometimes it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be like, oh, yo, did you
hear what my man said?
Yo, head over, boom, it's over your head.
It's
You're
over
fucking
your head, you done.
Yo, y'all ain't even fucking. Alright, that was dope, man. And that one was produced by Trox as well. Alright, the last one is called Wallabies.
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 The Clark show?
I would assume it's gotta be, because they ain't from fucking Australia.
But maybe he's talking about some shit when he was in Australia.
Yo,
You know
see?
what I'm saying? He got his
Yo,
stamp game up.
Yo, this is my man's 50 grand.
50 grand.
Always thinking ahead.
Always on the
Using
upper
his
side.
head for more than a fucking hat rack.
Word up.
Yo, shout out to Sean P. Let's see what
Shout out
Wallabies.
to the man.
Featuring RJ, produced by Law Spoken.
Okay. And this is the last.
No,
You never rap like this, pin a map like this. Elegant niggas, why they act like this? Dreams of a money count, bills flip through. The cracks of society, young niggas slip through. And the grammar so eloquent. A old nigga, but I feel so relevant. Wallaby flow, suede in the leather lace. You talk guns, how you ever caught a pistol case? Never talk for the ink dry. He a rat, I just saw a pig fly. Nigga, we sold dope in the summer months. And rubber bands every time that the numbers come. Intellect and some street smarts. I left the trap, so I had to make better art. And when the paint hit the canvas, I raised the bar, nigga, elevate the standards.
It's simple.
simple, but mad
The beat
simple.
is mad simple. The flow was
Mad
simple.
simple.
And it was
But
solid.
I want to say this though.
Talk.
it's actually hard
to do that
to rap that slow
and not sound like
and not sound like you're rapping. Yeah, yeah, basically, and to not sound like you're whack, because I know, like, for me, oftentimes to slower beats, I feel like I gotta fill it up with shit, you know, and to be able to command the flow and to just like kind of just control the beat that slow.
right.
But you gotta be confident too.
Man,
and obviously he has that confidence. You gotta own it. And he owns it, and it sounds
it's all
good.
about believing what you say.
You gotta believe, and obviously, you know what I'm saying, because he's coming from an authentic place. He's lived this.
Right.
Everything he's saying is real shit.
Yeah.
Not like the man. I'm not gonna get into.
Let's not get there. Let's not
I'm
go
not
there.
even gonna go
We
there.
ain't going there. Wait, you
Hey,
wanna
I'm
go
gonna
there?
go.
You
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, you gonna go there.
Nah, I could just say this. I'll just say this, and I bring up my son a lot, you know, because he's always putting me on to new.
Shout out to the kids, man.
Shout out to the kids.
They're good.
And you know what? It's whatever. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, even if he's not that great right now, or I don't like him right now, let him do his thing, because in 5 years, I mean, it's not hard for an artist to be in the game for 10 years at this point.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? 10 years used to be a fucking lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you've been in the game 10 years deep. New cats, I consider newer cats to be 10 years deep at this point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, someone that you might not like right now, in 10 years you might fuck around and like them because they've just gotten better. So, you know, I really don't try not to hate on anybody no more. But, like even he said, you got that pistol talk. Have you ever caught a gun case?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I think that element of hip hop is just so far gone where, you know, you really only talk about what you've done. You know what I mean? Or what you've been through, or even...
Well, if you want to go there, we can, because, I mean, you could pull up, like, Drink Champs with LL Cool J and some of the other guys were, not all of them, but some of these guys would tell you, like, I think even Rakim said something to that, to the extent of, like, we was talking about the shit that we seen. Like, we'd go kick it with those guys that were in the streets, and then we'd go rap about it. They wasn't going to rap about it. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe, you know, the real shit is, I mean, even though, like, there's always going to be some real cats that are going to do it, and they'll question your authenticity for sure. But I think hip-hop itself is kind of like a, let me go check it out and then report. It's a reporting. Like, even, what's his name? Womack. I mean, Wojak said, you know, I wanted to report. Like, he thought that was the fly shit, like looking glass everywhere. I just wanted to be a reporter.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that the people that were reporting, so to speak, had a different way of doing it where they weren't necessarily acting hard, like, this is me, this is what I do. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
Claiming it and saying it.
You can tell when somebody's just talking about it, and you can tell when somebody's trying to say, this is what I do. Yeah. And you can kind of get a real good feel of who's faking the funk.
Absolutely.
Not, you know what I mean? And a lot of the shit that I used to hear from my son, and looking at the videos of these guys, I'd just be like, man, that motherfucker's not doing what he's talking about.
Pretty much, man.
And if he is, then I'm fooled. Because if he was, he just looks like I'd slap him. and I'm not even hard. Like, I've never been on that shit. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about this.
Right.
I've never been on no banging shit or anything like that. But, like, you could just tell when someone's a nerd. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing is nowadays, what it is, and this is my term, so don't try to jack my swag, but these guys are what I call nerd turned cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, at the very same time, like, the thing that the reason why I don't really necessarily, okay, I wouldn't say that they're out there shooting cats, but they're probably down to shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like, they're dumb enough to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't, like, go out there and call them out or that, like, type of slapping them up and shit. Cause, I mean, the new cool shit is not really having hands and fighting. It's like, I'll lay you down, though.
Right,
you know
yeah, I'm not gonna fight you.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure they know how to use a gun, and if they were scared enough, they'd use it for sure.
But it's even that is corny.
It is. But
so we're not talking about would you do it. We're just talking about the type of person who we're talking
Just
about.
saying, yeah.
You're a nerd. You're a scary berry. You were probably a geek in high school, and now you've created this persona that you can be online and in the music, and you're just hoping nobody tests your gangsta. And if they do, the first thing you're gonna do is
Security.
is point and click.
Or security.
Or security, yeah. Security.
Tons of security.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but you know, whatever. I'm
It
not.
is what it is.
I'm not here to.
We're not here to test anybody's gangster.
Gangsta. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's keeping it gangsta.
That's really gangster.
But no, let's get back to the subject at hand. That was Wallabies, slow flow, classic shit again, ending it on a more mellow note. So let's just ride that out real quick.
And when the paint hit the canvas, I raise the bar, nigga, elevate the standards. Let's go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Going to church a little bit.
Let's get it. Yeah, the foam bubbling the pot. Crack game, rap game, stove to the block. Nigga, my crown full of gemstones. Thick black bra, I really love her skin tone. She's super thick like Serena is. A go-getter, check paper like Venus is. Euro thuggin', grass court like Wimbledon. Aim for the stars, don't know where the ceiling is. I'm on a whole different planet, bruh. Stupid fly, I never ain't landing, bruh. You see the clouds in the jet stream. First class seats and your suckers can't intervene. This the life that my rap gave. I hustle hard, thorough nigga that the trap made. I dream bands and stability. My nightmares is a lame nigga killing me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Took him to church. No words in the chorus.
It's rugged like some wallabies, you know.
And he said something. So I mean, it wasn't about you was wrong.
I was wrong, man.
You was wrong. He's always trying to, what I mean?
He's trying to be the right
Yo,
one,
he's
man.
always trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know why. No, I'm playing.
I don't even know I'm fucking
Yo,
with
why
this
I'm fucking
dude,
with this podcast?
You know what I'm saying?
It was just kind of like that rugged old school. He said something about suede wallaby soles or whatever, so that was just like artfully named that, I think.
Okay.
But ended it on a hard note, on a smooth note, hard and smooth. I'm gonna say this. With everything that he put into this album, I don't like that ending.
Yeah, the ending was kind of left you hanging, but
Because I mean, you had a dope intro, and you had two songs that had like an interlude before it that really led you.
right.
He didn't wrap it up. He didn't wrap it up.
That was for sure the last song.
Well, yeah, it's only 9.
I'm saying.
Oh my bad. There's an outro. Sorry.
Please.
Nah, he left you hanging, man. This album had a lot of ingredients in it. And you ever watch a movie and like all this shit happens, and you're like, you just want to know what's gonna, and then credits,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck? You done ended like
Yeah.
that? He did, man. Cool Nuts, you did us like that. Which maybe that's an ingenious thing to do, because he leaves you.
It's gonna make you wonder.
It's gonna make you wonder, and it's gonna make you want to peep his next project. I
The
guess.
next project's gonna be called, you know what I'm saying, when they step it up to the red beans and rice or something.
You know, it's gonna be, I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's putting out a couple projects a year, so. Well, that's it, y'all. Pig Ears and Chitlins by Cool Nuts. Any standouts to you? Anything?
I mean, the whole shit stood out, like you said, and then the ending kind of makes you,
I think I like, out of all these, I like Safe with Immaculate, but I think the Northeast Portland
that shit was tight.
was the dopest shit.
I like actually, my favorite is probably the intro, to be honest.
Yeah, all
Intro was dope.
those little in-betweens are fresh, because like I said, you get guided through it so much. That's why I wish he had an outro.
Yeah.
Just to listen, like, recap everything,
Right.
uh,
To tie it all up, but
tie it
but
all
I
up.
mean, all in all, I like the shit. For the most part, the project was dope. All the beats were
all of these
cracking.
dope.
Yeah.
Good production choices.
Right.
Good connection fucking with Trox. I think that was dope. He sounds good over that. good features, good singing, good hooks. Well, let's give it some trees.
Oh yeah, we do the trees.
I don't think we didn't do trees on
We didn't do
DSG
trees
one
on
because
DSG.
there was only 3 separate songs. It wasn't an actual project that we.
All right.
So let's do some trees. What do we do? 5 trees is like top notch.
5 trees is like the top of everything.
5 trees is top
5
notch.
trees is everything.
1 tree is garbage.
1 tree ain't nothing.
You know what I mean? I'm giving it nah.
Nah.
Yo, I'm giving it motherfucking nah. All right, so I got new car smell.
New car.
What
And
do
I
you
got the black ice.
You got black ice. I'm gonna give him. Man, I'm not gonna do no house. I'm gonna give him a solid 4. It's not the dopest shit I've ever heard. You know, and it's not anything that's like, damn man, have you heard that new, you know, Pig Ears and Chitlins? That shit is fucking. It's not like that, but it is really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I say has replay value. I would go back and listen to it again, and probably catch more things that I didn't catch the first time. And I think it's one of those albums too that like every time you put it on, you're gonna just play the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna dedicate 45 minutes to it. I wouldn't dissect it and play only this song.
I think I like 4. 4 is a good number. I think that if I was actually probably from Portland, I would have probably given it a 5. But
Yeah.
I think like being that I can't really picture what he's talking about exactly, even though I can see it,
Mm-hmm.
I can't in my mind go back to it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hold that same kind of value to me.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I mean, I can see that if I was from his neighborhood, I'd be like, hey, this is the shit
Right,
right here.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So 4 is a good number for me, just because the whole entire production was dope.
Yeah.
All his lyrics were on point. There really wasn't anything I go, well, oh man.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the type of, you know, I like those kind of artists that are seasoned and know what the fuck they're doing, and you kind of know what you're gonna get from them, and they just don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, from
It's pretty flawless.
how he gets in the booth and knows what distance to step away from the mic, voice control, breath control,
Right.
confidence, cadence,
Mhm.
everything, man. He's got it all down. You can't critique him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What could you possibly have said could be better about that shit? Nothing.
Wrapping up the end a little different, but other than that,
But other than that, that's true. So I guess we did have a little bit of a critique, but that was just me yearning for a little bit more. You know, that's not necessarily you did anything wrong. I just kind of wanted one more.
that's
of
how
those.
you ended the movie.
That's how you decided in the movie. Sometimes Ricky dies at the end.
Word. Sometimes you don't know. It looks like he does, but maybe he didn't.
Maybe he did. Maybe before the shot goes, credits.
Right.
Motherfucking director.
Hey, come on. Hey,
Hey,
cool nuts, man.
but okay, let's just say this though, because with that being said, I mean basically what we're doing is saying this shit's a movie. And that's
Exactly.
dope.
That is dope.
This shit is a movie. Yo, everybody go peep Cool Nuts, Pig Ears and Chitlins. It's a good journey. I mean, we played you some snippets from it, but this is definitely something you gotta go back and listen to from beginning to end.
Listen to the whole thing and really get what he's trying to put out there, the message behind it. Check out. Don't skip through the interludes because it leads into the next song.
You got to.
And it's dope.
And I'm gonna end it on this one because this is my fave.
End it on that
I'm
one.
gonna do this one.
Those days we be riding in the old school to the side, up and down MLK. Oh, we could do
Every
this
night
all
I'm
day.
Shout out to MLK, it's the cold.
Seattle. Full of dreams and I'm gone.
They got one in Olympia, everywhere.
Baby, we still good.
You know what I'm about.
Hey.
The strip